And we're live. Hello, everybody. This is the first episode of Girl What? Uh, the new podcast that literally came about within the past week. I'm Mariah,
And I'm Sarah.
and we just decided to do this podcast because, well, we love to talk about shit.
And we're good at it with each other.
Exactly, exactly. You'll find out a little bit about us in a bit, but yeah, we've known each other for years, and we're just really good at talking and gabbing with each other. So that's why we've decided to do this podcast because we wanted to do something together and we wanted to just have fun. So
Well, and we both come from such extensive backgrounds of play acting and all sorts of stuff like that. Your Facebook lives are legitimately like something I look forward to when you go live on Facebook. So yeah, it's just a super great outlet I think for both of us too to get to, kind of scratch that itch of public
yes,
speaking.
no, no, for sure, for sure. Um, so yeah, I guess we can just jump right into it. We're just gonna say a little bit about ourselves. I guess I will go ahead and start. My name is Mariah. I'm 28, which is weird to say because I feel like I'm trapped in my 16-year-old body, but also I feel like I'm 80 years old. So I I'm 28, but perpetually like anywhere from 16 to 80. So yeah, I am married. I have three dogs. I live in a small town in Wisconsin. I'm a barista at a Caribou Coffee. I've been there for actually, I think 8 years this month. So I know a lot about the coffee game. But before that, I worked a number of jobs. I worked at ice cream shops. I worked in other barista jobs. I've been a waitress a number of times. Yeah, and I just love to talk. I love to be a nerd about things. I love to just voice my opinion about a lot of things, which Sarah knows for sure because we share that little thing there. Yeah, I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd. I'm super into K-pop, K-dramas, all things like Asian media. That's come about within the past well, I was gonna say the past couple years, but no, it's been like 10 years. Wow, I'm aging myself a lot. But anyway, yeah, so I have a lot of cool niche interests, a lot of really weird things that I'm into that hey, maybe I might relate to some of you on. And yeah, I just love to have fun and just be a goofball, be the goofball that I am. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, I'm Sarah. I am married. I'm 28 years old. I'm a mother of two. I have three dogs, 26 chickens. We have six ducks, a rabbit. We run kind of a little hobby farm. Live in Northwest Wisconsin my whole life. And I actually am a former radio announcer myself. That was what I did for a job for quite a while and really loved doing it, but ended up getting out of it. And now I'm back in the stay-at-home mom game because I love being a homebody and struggling. I suffer from what's called chronic Lyme disease for anybody that doesn't know. And so for me, it's a lot easier to be at home and manage when I do have bad days than try and be out at a job carrying around a tote of medicines and whatnot. But myself, I come from a background of a lot of athletics. Mariah and I actually met through cheerleading and some of the other sports that we had done together. Band we did together. We did a lot of clubs together, a lot of clubs, forensics, yeah, FBLA, drama club, and loved everything. But yeah, I former national ranked power lifter. I ranked in the top 10 in the U.S. back in 2015, which is also dating myself a little bit. It's kind of gross saying that was a decade ago, but but yeah, no, I myself things that I'm interested in. I love being able to spread positivity. Mariah knows that about me. If I can make somebody else smile, I can go to bed that night knowing that I did something good for the day. All about spreading positivity and joy and making others laugh. I love like romantic comedies, which is an interesting thing that I'm mentioning, just spark note for later. But I love like romantic comedies. I love comedy movies. Love spending time with my family, spending time outside, hunting, fishing, all the things. And I think my favorite part about me and Mariah's friendship and dynamic is that we're so similar, but also so different in so many of like our interests and stuff like that. But like we have always, always, always been able to just kind of bond over the similarities that we do have. And she has taught me so much. We used to be roommates even, and she has taught me so much about like, K-pop and like stuff that I myself just had never really gotten into. And she kind of opened up a world for me of interest, which is what I'm excited. Yeah, which is what I'm like so excited to come about of this too. Is I feel like there's so many times when we're having a conversation, especially back in the day when we lived together, that like there were so many times I was like, man, what it would look like to be a fly on the wall for these for someone else. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I just for me, I was really missing radio and that kind of side of like public speaking and stuff. And so when Mariah had even pitched this idea, I was like, girl, do you need a co-star? Because like I would co-host with you, and here we are.
Here we are. Here we are. So yeah, that's a little bit about us. Your co or your hosts for Girlblit. Yeah, so as Sarah said, we have known each other since middle school. Before then, maybe I don't
Yeah,
even remember. But yeah, so like we've known each other since middle school, high school. We have been in so many things together, tackled so many things together, gone through so many shared experiences. We have, like she said, like basically the same personality, but also wildly different personalities, which I think complement each other so well.
yes,
And we're yeah, and we're just so excited to, share about us with you guys, but also, you know, key the other into like what's been going on in our lives because like we're both 28. We've been living completely different lives than when we were like sequestered in school every day for like 275 days a year. So there's a lot about each other that we don't really know anymore. And we just want to reconvene, get together, talk, love, share. We just
gossip.
want to do it all. Yes, gossip for sure. Oh man, gossip is like way up there. Yeah. Yeah, so that by the way, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's
Yes,
Valentine's Day when we're recording this.
yay, yay for love.
And yes, yay for love. And for those of you who have not found your love yet, that is okay. What even is today? It's just a regular Friday. It's not a holiday. What the hell? But
Yeah,
for those, yeah, but for those of you who happen to have a certain special someone in your life, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you were able to celebrate them. And even if you weren't, you're celebrating with us. We love you.
we love you so much for the fact you're here. We love that.
Exactly,
um,
exactly.
I was gonna ask, did you get anything for Valentine's Day?
So, nope.
Oh no! Oh no! Maybe I should have said anything.
I'm ki- I'm kind of putting my husband on blast here by saying that I did not get anything for Valentine's Day this year yet. He says
Albert,
he
I'm
is
so
going to.
sorry.
It's okay. He says he is going to be taking me out for dinner. It was supposed to be tonight, but it's snowing like crazy. So hopefully tomorrow.
Well, we're on a
So
date, so that's he had to plan around it, right?
exactly, exactly. Like our little bestie date, it takes precedence to my husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Besties take precedence to marriage
Yeah.
all the time. All the time.
Bros before
Oh,
hoes, in the words of Michael Scott.
exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, how about you? I already saw that you got something, but tell everybody about what you got.
Yeah, so my husband is notoriously known for being like the biggest sweetheart sap cheeseball that there is. And myself, I'm the same way. So like it's my favorite quality about him. But this year he almost outdid himself. It was close. It's a close tie for first, but He came home yesterday and he walked in with this giant ceramic boat, like a legit like boat filled with flowers. And apparently he had gone into the flower shop and he walked in and he was like, I want the most unique thing that you have in here. And these little old ladies were so excited somebody wanted to buy this boat because it's been sitting up there for months. Nobody would buy it. And my husband bought me, it was a boat filled with flowers. And then him and my son took me out to dinner, which was really fun. But I will say though, his best Valentine's gift he's ever done for me was when he got me my pug. And that was, we realized 4 years ago today.
Oh, cute. I
Yeah.
love that. Love. I love love.
I
I
love
used to be
love.
such I used to be such a fucking cynic for love, and then I got married. I'm like, oh my God, I love love. I'm that person now.
Love is the best, man.
Like I literally used to shit on Valentine's Day so hard. Like I literally used to call it Sad Day, Singles Awareness Day. Like and now I'm over here dressing up and shit for work. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like what am I gonna get for my husband for Valentine's Day?" Like, oh man.
Yeah, you had the little heart headband too going on at work. Or
I
yeah, it was hearts,
did.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. I had some okay, so it was for those of you listening who can't see, it was like a little it was a headband, but it had like antenna on it, but the antenna were hearts. And a lot of people commented on the fact that, oh, you have antenna. I'm like, oh yeah, it's really funny. But I had one lady come up to me today. I don't know what I don't know what she thought she was trying to say, but she goes, "Oh, you got your tentacles on your head, huh?" Like,
What?
ma'am, what?
Girl,
Like,
what?
huh? Girl, what? Like, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I have my octopus tentacles on my head. But anyway, I digress. So yeah. So yeah, Valentine's Day, everybody. It's yeah, the day of love. So my coworker actually gave me this idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it. I don't even know why I didn't realize it was Valentine's Day that we were recording this until she said something yesterday. But she gave me the idea that we should talk about our favorite rom-coms and maybe some of our not so favorite rom-coms, which I've already told to Sarah, I couldn't literally think of anything that was not like a good rom-com that like wasn't my favorite, but she's come up with a couple, so like we'll see if I can like springboard off of her. But that's what we're going to be doing for this episode. We're going to be talking all about romance movies, all about rom-coms, and I'm super excited for it. Sarah, what about you?
I am over the moon because, like, anybody that does know me knows how stupidly positive and optimistic and just loving and happy of a person I am. And so there is no topic that makes me happier than romantic comedies, which are like my favorite guilty pleasure. It is my favorite genre of movie. And I got so excited when you pitched the idea.
I just when my coworker told me, I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. I love rom-coms, and I know Sarah does too. So like, we got to do this.
Well, and then I thought too, I'm like, man, if there's any listeners then that like either haven't seen one that we talk about or I haven't seen one that you mentioned, it gives me ideas too for new ones I can watch. I literally just put somebody, a girl we both went to school with, I got her on a comedy movie called Leo on Netflix. It's it's about a school lizard. Hear me out, okay? It's about a pet lizard for a classroom. It's a kids movie, but it's the voices of the main characters are Adam Sandler and Bill Burr. They play the voices of this classroom lizard and the turtle. It is the funniest kids movie you will ever watch. And I messaged her this morning. I'm like, okay, so what was the verdict? She's like, girl, that was hands down the funniest movie ever. She's like, my kids loved it too. Like, oh, good.
I'm obsessed with that. No, I when you first said it, I'm like, okay, like Leo, cool, whatever. But
Yeah.
no, like I remember seeing like previews for that movie, and I remember as soon as you said Adam Sandler, I'm like, yes, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. I'm glad that it's good because that's been on my watch list actually. Oh,
Yeah, you have to watch that because, like, it's one of those movies too where the adult humor for like the grown-ups that are in the room watching it, like we all love the voice of Adam Sandler, Bill Burr, and so like these lines of like adult humor that get mixed in are hysterical. And like my son calls it the Dino movie. I don't know, but I think it's from the photo of the lizard. But he loves the Dino movie. Like that's we watch Leo all the time.
Love it. Love it. And honestly, let's just take a moment to appreciate Adam Sandler, um, the goat of
The
comedy.
goat. There's no other way to say that. Yeah, the goat.
Honestly, like people can shit on him all they want, but he is just like chef's kiss. He is amazing. I hope he never stops making movies.
I know, me too. Like, could you picture a more humble human being in the body of and career of this massive celebrity? Like, he totally could be super stuck up and like whatever, snooty, too good for everybody. And he is like the most down to earth, humble human being, too. I think that is so cool. And he gives jobs to all of his friends all the time, which is even cooler.
Exactly. He keeps all of his friends in business. He gives
Yeah.
his friends paychecks, and that is goat behavior, man. You know you're gonna go to the top. You're gonna take your fucking friends with you, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Adam Sandler. Just the fact that he walks around Hollywood in just like a baggy shirt and like some basketball shorts, just like all the time. It's like
Yeah.
just doesn't give a shit about anything. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I
I'm here for
aspire
it.
for. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now that we've already gone off on an Adam Sandler tangent. Let's redirect to the rom-coms, the romantic movies discussion. Uh, I don't know if you want to start us off or like if you want me to start us off. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of movies, so like whatever you want to
So
do.
I think we should both start with our like number one favorite.
Oh, oh, that's a lot of
I know,
pressure.
I know. And I read my list 4 times. I'm like, am I sure?
Oh, oh God. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure my number one could qualify as a romantic comedy, but it's
Okay.
a romance movie. It's a romantic drama, but there's comedy in it.
Okay, those still count, right?
Yeah,
It's
and
a
I
topic of romance. It's Valentine's Day.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's my number one, but really it's like a tie between like three of them. But that's the one when I first heard like the topic, that's the one that like instantly jumped into my head. So like that's got to be number one. So,
Yeah. Okay, what's your number one?
okay, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Where the Heart Is
Shut
with
up.
Natalie Portman.
Oh, come on.
It's
It's
so good. Yeah,
American. I
America's
still
Nation.
bawl. I still
Oh my
bawl every
god.
time I see that movie.
I know. Oh my gosh. And I'm sorry. Can we just appreciate that they cast a not stereotypically gorgeous leading man, but by God, his actions and the way he fucking treats Nova Lee, he is the most attractive motherfucker I have ever seen in cinema.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
cannot. Oh,
Oh,
I
that
love
is
Forney.
such a good movie.
Hashtag Forney forever. I love that
Yes.
movie
Oh my
so
God,
much.
yes. No, that's a really
Oh,
good one because that's like not like a mainstream answer either. Like people automatically jump to like big movie names like The Notebook for like romance movies and stuff like that. But like that is one that is so good and so completely understated.
that's what I'm saying. That like if I'm ever in a bad mood, I can always put on that movie and just be in my feels and cry it out and just come out of the other side just happy as a clam, you know? It
Can we talk about what a gift that is, by the way, too, with like rom-coms? And if you're a listener that like does not do this, when you're in your feels, you need to do this. There are other ways to get through your feelings besides blasting T Swizzle on the loudspeaker. I love my T Swift, but there's other ways to get through it. And for me, like, yeah, going to my favorite rom-com, like there's been so many moments in my life where I was like down in the dumps and just awful. It was lowest of the low, and the best thing I did for myself was put on a rom com or a comedy. Like you're laughing and you're
absolutely.
crying, and it's just the best therapy.
Absolutely.
I swear.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. Like you I am one for like I'm always down for a good cry or a good laugh. Those two things can change my entire day. Like I already am a crybaby. Like I will fully admit that. I'm not ashamed of that. And if you're a crybaby, you know what? Props to you because you're not afraid to express your feelings. Um, but yeah, like
Exactly.
sometimes, exactly, yeah, like sometimes you just need a good, hearty, strong, just sob. And
Yeah.
romantic comedies, and just like, I mean, really any sad movie, but like romantic comedies that they make you cry while also making you feel just warm and fuzzy inside, and that's so great.
And making you laugh. You know, what's better than
Exactly.
laughing right after you cry?
Exactly. Or laughing while you cry.
Yeah.
Just a good like so great. Which I do a lot of, by the way.
All the time here, you know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that was my number one. I'm very curious about what your number one is.
Okay, so this changed recently because I had the same one for like 20 years, like the same favorite number one, but it changed recently. Hear me out. My old favorite used to be the OG Cinderella story, like OG with the Hilary Duff. You know what I'm saying? That was my OG favorite love
Oh,
story, or romantic comedy. Because there's the funny bits in, you know, like, but now my favorite is Crazy Stupid Love.
I love that movie. Oh my
Thank
god.
God you've seen it. Oh, thank God you've
Oh,
seen it.
for sure. For
Like the
sure. Oh my
the
god.
legendary fight scene with Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and when David Lindenhagen shows up and they all just start wailing on each other.
It's it is so great, especially how like literally everybody is so connected, but they don't find out until like the absolute worst moment possible is just great.
And
Oh
like
my
if you
god.
haven't seen it, you know, like you don't know that's coming and you don't expect it when it comes because like literally the directors picked the perfect moment to all of a sudden make everybody realize they all know each other and why. But I actually just recently watched a Steve, and this is old. It's an old speech that Steve did. Ryan got some big award. Ryan Gosling did, and Steve Carell was the one who gave like a speech on behalf of Ryan Gosling and like you know who he is and whatever. He the whole time Steve is going on and he's like, "Yep." And I asked Ryan what are you doing on a Friday night? And he looked at me and said, he goes, "I'm going to play with my band at a nursing home." And he's like a goddamn asshole. The whole time he's like listing all these beautiful things that Ryan is doing behind the scenes, and he's like, "Yeah," and he doesn't capitalize off it at all, like a dick. Like
I
Crazy
love
Stupid
that.
Love has to be my number one.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I didn't even think of that one, which is honestly criminal of me. I am so sorry. But yeah, no. Am amazing, amazing movie. Amazing casting. Like
Oh,
everybody, like 10 out of 10 perfect.
yes.
Oh,
So if you haven't seen it, go watch Crazy Stupid Love.
oh my gosh, yeah. Won't regret it at all. No.
Mm-mm.
Um, okay, so you mentioned the OG Cinderella story. And I have just got to say, I have an entire category on my list devoted to my queen, Hilary Duff. She has so many good rom-coms, and like
She does.
there are people that will look at her movies, i.e. like Raise Your Voice and The Perfect Man, and say, "Wow, those are shit." Absolutely not. Those are amazing movies.
Yeah.
I like we're talking about a versatility queen here. She has the OG Cinderella story. She has the
Yep.
Lizzie McGuire movie. Lizzie McGuire herself went to
Yeah.
Rome. This is what dreams are made of. Are you kidding me? The Perfect Man, like I said. Make some noise. Like I said. Or no, not make some noise, raise your voice. I mean, same concept. Same concept.
Yeah.
But she's literally an entire section on my list. I love Hilary Duff movies so much, specifically her romantic comedies. Oh,
Yes.
I can't.
She just has that like bashful, lovable way about her too, where she's not like it seems like most of the characters that she plays you fall in love with because she's not like that I don't even know how to describe what I'm trying to say. But like when you think of like you know, beautiful like protagonist, you think of like an outgoing and whatever. And sometimes I feel like her character, like the wardrobe and everything too, it's often like kind of pulled back and casual and understated, and like she's so dainty and talks so soft and does her little pocket hand thing, and just you just love her, you know?
The pocket hand. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I
the
love that.
pocket hand.
But no, like she, like all of her characters, like she does such a good job at making her characters like quirky, but not in like a cringe way, but also
Quirky,
not in
that's
like
the
a,
word I needed.
yeah, yeah, there you go, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
she does such a good job of portraying like the quirky character, like not making
Yes.
it too over the top, not making it too cringy, but also not making it boring. She's just
Yeah.
she's
She's a
also
queen.
like the most, yeah, she's like the most unproblematic Disney child ever. Can we just talk about
Uh-huh.
that? No, no
Yeah.
scandals,
Nope.
nothing.
Nope.
She looks absolutely perfect. She hasn't aged a fucking day.
No. Has had kids. I don't like, is she up to four now? She has a lot of kids and like looks incredible.
Lizzie McGuire be pumping out a lot of kids, and she looks exactly how she did in fucking high school.
Yup.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so I love her. So I really love that you mentioned a Cinderella story because I was going to do that anyway.
That's such a good one.
So good. I wonder if I like. Okay, so I'm recording on my phone, so I wonder if I like like go to my notes app if this will do something detrimental. We're gonna find out. Stay tuned. We're gonna find out. Oh, I don't think it's doing anything detrimental. Okay, perfect. I'm able to bring up my list. Excellent. Oh, I love that. Okay,
Which
so
is funny. I wrote mine down.
I thought about doing that, but literally not until you answered the video chat. So I'm like, we're just gonna wing it. So okay, now I have my list pulled up. So did you want me to go ahead with another one, or do you want to do another one?
Another one off of mine. Let's see here. Notting Hill.
You're gonna be mad at me.
Tell me you have seen Notting Hill. No! 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 Like Julia Roberts, come on!
I know what it's about. I was scared you were gonna say Notting Hill because I've literally seen every other Julia Roberts movie.
I was gonna actually put Aaron Brockovich on my list, but I didn't think that counts.
I've seen Aaron Brockovich, just not Notting Hill. Ugh.
I'm trying to think of now too where the quote is from. I'm pretty sure it's from The Office where he's like, "You have got to stop watching Notting Hill. It is not helpful to our relationship." But
So
no,
I have.
Notting Hill is so good. It's one of those movies that like for me it's a guilty pleasure movie because my husband like he'll get into rom-coms if I make him sit down and like make him girlfriend out with me and watch one, but Notting Hill is one of those that call me weird. I have to be by myself watching it and I just sit there and like I'll cry and then I like laugh and yeah, it is so good because the male in it is it
Hugh Grant.
Grant
Yep.
Hugh
Yep.
Grant. Yeah. And that movie is so funny. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that one, you need to go watch that one. But you need to watch that one too, because you would love it. You would love it.
I so I have started it legitimately so many times. Like I do not even have enough fingers to count how many times I have started it and then stopped for some reason, whether it be like I fell asleep or I got distracted or whatever, but I haven't been able to finish it.
Okay,
So
so it
like
wasn't though like you started it and you were like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like you've just started it
no.
and like gotten sidetracked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So like yeah, that I'm not like completely a horrible person.
Okay,
But
another one
yes.
on yours.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, where do I go from here? There are so oh, 10 things I hate about you.
That's on mine.
I love 10 things I hate about you.
So good.
Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room. The biggest part of why I love 10 things I hate about you. Let's say it in one, two, three. Heath
Heath
Ledger.
Ledger.
Yep,
R.I.P. baby.
I
R.I.P.
know. Oh, we miss you down here. We miss your
Oh,
sexy Australian ass. Oh,
yes.
but maybe you're better off up there. The world is just a shitstorm,
Yes.
honestly, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
No, that movie though, oh my God, it's so funny. It's so smart and witty and
And deep.
oh and deep. Oh my God, for sure.
Oh, so deep.
I didn't realize until way too late in my life that that movie is like an adaptation of Taming of the Shrew, like
Taming of the
the
Shrew.
Shakespeare,
I don't.
like Shakespeare or something.
Is it like a?
All the
Oh,
like literary buffs are gonna come for me. I'm sorry. Is Taming of the Shrew Shakespeare? Somebody please answer. But yeah,
oh.
it's an adaptation of that, and I had no idea until like I don't know, maybe 5 6 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just like
Huh.
how like Lion King is like an adaptation of like Hamlet or some shit.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. The more you know. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. Also Julia Stiles, me and my manager were talking about this today. She like all of her roles, I didn't know this. My manager told me. Apparently Julia Stiles only takes on like strong female roles because that's how she wants to like portray herself and like, you know, how she wants to be a role model for like the younger generation, which Queen love that. But that's
Yeah.
why yeah, but that's why you've never seen her in like a role that's not like Cat or like the one she did in like Save the Last Dance or like The Prince and Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little fun
Yeah.
factoid.
That's good to know. Yeah, I actually just recently too watched a video of her redoing the iconic reading of her, the poem. And I she was older and the millennial in me died a little. I was like
Yeah.
I was bawling, Mariah. I was bawling watching it.
Nope, same. And do you remember when she like kind of choked up at the end there?
Yes.
It's just not even a little bit, not even at all. Oh,
Why am I crying?
oh I can't. It's so it's so iconic. It's so sweet. I miss Heath Ledger.
Oh, yes, it's so good and so deep. And what is the name of the actor? Because it just slipped my mind now too. That plays the his like young kind of geeky friend that dates the sister.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was the first movie that made me fall in love with that man.
Trust and believe, girl. Yes, young
Oh,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt at any age, he can get it. Let's just be
uh-huh.
honest, he can get it. But yeah, no, him in that movie just did something to me, you know.
Yes.
Also, I'm obsessed with his friend. He's the actor is David Krumholtz, who plays his friend, like, whatever Joseph Gordon-Levitt's friend in the movie. I can't remember the character's name,
Oh,
but I can remember the actor's name.
I
He
can
plays
remember the
Bernard.
face.
He plays Bernard in the Santa Claus. That's all I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I love him. I love his comedic timing. It's like so on point all the time.
yeah. No, I
Like
agree.
hmm?
Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say like the scene where he's like, I have a dick on my face, don't I? Iconic.
Yes, yes, so good.
Oh, so good. Anyway, what were you gonna
Um, I forgot, so we'll just keep rolling.
say? Okay, all right. So, was it your turn or my? No, it's your turn. It's your turn.
My turn. Yeah. So another one that I love, is There's Something About Mary.
I haven't seen it in a hot minute. I have seen it. I haven't seen it in a hot minute though. But I do remember
So
loving
good.
it.
So
Oh
good. The
my
stuck
God.
up hair scene, you know?
Yup, yup.
No, that movie, like,
Oh.
it was one of those two that, I remember watching for the first time and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get into this. And then I sat through and, oh my gosh, like, the comedic timing on that is so hysterical. And the fact that there are so many men that are, like, literally, like, lying about who they are just so Mary will fall in love with them. Like, it's
I
terrible.
know.
Can you imagine
Oh.
having, like, all the men around you are not at all who they say they are? Like,
That sounds like college, actually. But anyway, I went through a hoe phase in college. It was bad. But no, I kind of understand. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, God, how long has it been since I've seen that movie? It's probably been at least 10 years since I've seen that movie, but
Really?
yeah, it's been a while. I just remember
See,
I
that's a
love Ben
guilty
Stiller.
pleasure for me too. Yes, and Ben Stiller in like a serious role like that, like serious but also funny role like that too. Like I really enjoyed seeing him in kind of that capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because he's been like typecast as like the funny, the goofy guy, for so long,
Yeah.
and finally seeing him as like more of a serious role with like a little bit of comedy thrown in there. Yeah, it's really nice. It's refreshing.
Yes. Yes. I like the change of pace.
Yes,
Okay, what's
nope,
another
for
one on
sure.
yours?
Okay. Oh, this is one that's special to me and my manager. Like this is like I feel like this is our movie at this point. 13 going on 30.
Yes. Yes.
I thought you hadn't seen it and I was gonna like come through this phone and smack you up. Like, oh man.
I I would have it
Oh.
coming. Yeah. Nope. I love that movie. And actually it's so funny. My husband, so he's like a huge Marvel, like superheroes, Marvel, loves all that stuff, kind of nerd. And so he loves Hulk and like with Mark Ruffalo. And I told him, I was like, well, you've seen 13 going on 30, right? And he's like, no, this was a few years back. And I'm like, okay, well, we're making popcorn and we're sitting down and you're going to watch that. He loved it. By the end of it, he's like, I'm almost mad I didn't see this sooner. I'm like, I know.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, you made the right choice in watching it.
Yes.
Mark Ruffalo. Oh my God. Holy. I-
Have you seen what is that actor's name? The young guy, I think Noah Cent.
Noah Centineo.
There it is. It's our, like, well, I wouldn't say our generation's Mark Ruffalo, because, like, you and I are right at that millennial spot where, like, our generation still was the OG Mark Ruffalo. But I feel like
Mhm.
Noah is the, like, Gen Z's Mark Ruffalo.
That I can agree with that. I can agree with that because like they've got like kind of like sort of the same face shape.
Yeah.
They're that they're like the pretty boy, but also kind of like the more I don't want to say like stocky, but like they've got like a more like muscular build. They're not like
Like
fucking
an
Timothy Chalamet.
understated pretty boy, kind of.
Yes, exactly. We could talk about my feelings about Timothy Chalamet another time because there are a lot of feelings. Anyway. No, but yeah, for sure, like understated, good looking, like just like he gives off he like exudes good guy,
Yes. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
both of
Good
them do.
guy. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
like 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 in 13 going on 30, like best friend who lives next door, like that is what Noah Centineo is also giving to me.
Yes. Yep. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yep,
But I feel like
yep.
13 going on 30 is just one of those movies too that like if you're just feeling sad and don't know why you're sad, it's just one of those like classics to put on and it just makes you smile. Like you know me, I'm all about like sentimental stuff. Like I am a huge sap for like sentimental gifts and gestures and like Mariah is the best at sentimental gift giving. Like I still by my bed have this jar you made me of sentimental like words to pick through like with how I'm feeling and stuff. But like that movie to me it brought me so much joy because like of the unity message with it. Like when she finally gets her head out of her butt, and then they do the whole like throwback thing and it just like to me that like it makes me like choke up even thinking about it because I love stuff like that. Like where there's unity and inclusion and joy and laughter and love. I just love love. And that movie
I
makes me
know.
love
Yeah.
love.
No, for real. And like one of my favorite parts of that movie is at the end where spoiler, but also like it's been years, people. If you haven't seen this movie, I'm
It's
sorry
been,
I'm gonna
yeah.
spoil it. But at the end when she's at his wedding and she goes up into the room to like meet him and try and like talk him out of it and he brings out the house that he made for her. He still has it perfectly intact after all these years. And she starts bawling, I start bawling. I lose it every time. It's so
Yes.
sweet. Ugh.
Yes. And I love the way that they were able to like tie the way they ended that movie. Like there's so many different rom-coms or like romance movies too that you watch where the ending, there are times where the ending is not incredible. You know, the movie
Mhm.
ends and you're kind of like, eh. That movie is so well ended. I could
Mhm.
not think of a more beautiful way to end that movie than the final scene. Like it just then they have their real life dollhouse and oh,
I know. Ugh.
come
Yeah,
on.
no, like it really encapsulates like perfect ending to me. If you look perfect ending up in the dictionary, I feel like that would be included amongst a very small list of other movies, to be honest.
Yes. Yes.
Ugh.
Okay. So next on my list, forgetting Sarah Marshall. Peter,
I
you
am
suck.
obsessed. I'm obsessed. Oh my God. Yeah,
I love
Jason Segel honestly is one of my like stereotypically like unattractive celebrity crushes.
Yeah, and I love the amount of
Oh,
people that like sleep on the idea of him being a celebrity crush. I have been obsessed with him forever. Like I think he is just like the biggest and sweetest, you know what I mean? And in that movie, I love that he's able to land not only Kristen Bell but also Mila Kunis. Like,
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. I mean, come on, underdog story of the century.
yeah. Well, and have you seen it's the 5 year engagement?
What? Who does that have in it?
It's got Jason Segel and Emily Blunt, Chris Pratt, and I can't remember the other name of the other gal, but it's super old. It's like at least 20 years old, but it is really good and it's a rom com. It actually almost made my list. It was really really close to making my list, but it's
Okay,
not
yeah, no,
super well known.
uh, clearly, yeah, no, I haven't
Yeah,
seen it, but I do have a bone to pick. Like, it has Chris Pratt in it, and I'm sorry if you like Chris Pratt, but I absolutely that he's up there with Timothy Chalamet for me. I do not like him at all.
you don't like Chris Pratt?
I
No.
don't. I
Have you
don't.
seen? Have you watched though Parks and Recreation?
I actually haven't. I've seen like a lot of like different bits and pieces, but I haven't seen like full episodes, like, in a row.
Okay, so I was not the biggest Chris Pratt fan either. Like, I don't watch Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. Like, it's not that they're bad. It's just not something that like I would pick out and turn on for a movie night for myself. And so I was
Right.
never really like, oh, Chris Pratt's great. But then I watched Parks and Rec, and like he is so lovably dumb in that, and the way he is able to play this like lovable idiot made me fall in love with him.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I will have to watch Parks and Rec to see if I can change my viewpoint on Chris Pratt. Maybe it might happen in the future, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hey, we're open to trying new things.
Exactly. We here at Girl What are open to trying new things and changing viewpoints and
Yes,
seeing things from all different perspectives. Sorry, Chris
yes.
Pratt.
But like for with the Chris Pratt rant I just went on with so with the Jason Segel, I love that they in that movie he is married to Emily Blunt. And like John Krasinski and Emily Blunt are literally my favorite celebrity couple, hands down. But like, I think it's so cool that they pick a guy that's like kind of, not your Hollywood idea of like a super hot dude, and he lands all these gorgeous women in these movies. I think that's like a really cool, kind of cool little, concept.
Absolutely. And honestly, okay, to get a little serious for a second, I wish that they would do that more with stereotypically like not Hollywood level, quote unquote, attractive women. You don't see
Yes.
that a whole lot where they're like these just god level like super super hot men, and then there's like more of like a plain or more of just like a simple looking female. And that
Yeah,
sucks. Like,
it
come
does. I
on.
know. why do women all the time have to look like a perfect 10 to be able to land somebody hot? Oh, wait. No, I just thought of one though where there's a woman who's, well, I guess Amy Schumer is really beautiful though too in her own way, but she in that one movie that she's got, I can't think of the name of it and it's going to make me crazy, but she has a hookup scene with John Cena.
It's Trainwreck.
There it is, Trainwreck. I
Yep.
remember
Yep.
watching that and I was like, finally, finally a girl that's not like a size zero can land a guy like John Cena.
Right, right. And like that's not to say that there haven't been like movies or TV shows that show that kind of relationship, but it's so much more heavily saturated where like the guy is like quote unquote unattractive and the girl is just a
Yes.
bombshell versus where the guy is just this beautiful, beautiful like sculpture of a man and then there's just more of like a stereotypically quote unquote unattractive girl. Like I
Hmm.
need to see more of that. I need more equality. Like seeing that
Yes.
as a young girl would have done wonders for my self-esteem versus like me still like grappling with that and like that this is a topic for another another episode of the podcast but like seeing that growing up would have been so awesome and like so beneficial to so many people.
Yeah, because I feel like then, it would have opened the door for like young us to believe that you deserved a fairy tale. It's so easy to like watch these movies, like the even a lot of these rom-coms we're talking about, like Cinderella story. I remember being young and watching, and I love Hilary Duff. I'm not saying anything bad about Hilary Duff, but like I remember watching that and thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I'm a little bit, thicker of a girl, and I'm not a perfect size zero. And man, what if I never find like an Austin Ames or like somebody to give me my fairy tale? Like it put so much like room for self-doubt and room for like lower confidence where I do feel like, if you start putting more real looking people into the celebrity scene, it makes average people feel seen and average young
Exactly.
girls feel seen.
Exactly, exactly. And like it can be said to where like if you do that and you're like if you have a more average looking girl like this super hot guy it can like negatively affect the situation where
It's
these
true.
girls will be like, I can get this Adonis level man like I can get somebody that like I will like not even how do I say this without sounding bad but just like somebody who's like very clearly unattainable like a movie star say like I watch a movie I'm like oh my gosh, like that girl kind of looks like me and she's dating this beautiful man. Like I can do that too. Let me go like fly to California and meet this like superstar like actor, this singer, whatever. Like I can see where that would negatively impact it, but more so than not, I feel like seeing that would just be like it would have been a lot better. And I wish there was more of that on like the female end than there is for the male end.
I
Random.
agree. I agree. I totally agree. And like I think there's still something to be said too about remembering, especially as like we're older, you don't realize that like young girls look up to you as a woman, Like the girl in the supermarket, you might not even realize the impact that you made on her that day. Like when I was especially when I was at the radio station, we had this and I will never forget it. I'm not going to cry. We had this little boy come in who was completely blind and he, can't see anything, but he can hear. And he would tune into our stations all the time. He knew all of us by voice. And so he came in, his dad brought him in, and he had his walking stick, or guiding stick. And um, he talked about how much it means to him to get to turn on the radio and listen to real people. And like it feels like we're talking to him. And I remember I choked up meeting him, and after he left, I found myself bawling in the studio. And it wasn't that like, you feel sorry for him or anything like that at all. It was that I had no idea the impact that like me doing a job made on somebody else. It's not like I had this big inspirational show or anything. A lot of times I was reading the weather and celebrity news, but like here, this is this little boy's world revolved around the impact that other people were making. And so I think it's so important, especially as women too, to remember that like we're also helping guide the younger generation. I mean, like think of all the icons that like we looked up to when we were younger. You know what I mean? I think that's
Mhm.
so important. And I so wish it was more seen in cinema.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100% agree. We need more diverse representation. And which luckily we have been getting the past like 5 to 10 years. Like things have been getting a lot more progressive. We have like people of different body shapes, different ethnicities, different skin tones, like
Yes.
different sexualities like to look up to, and that's so phenomenal. And I'm so glad that the children that are being brought up into the world now are getting to see that, whereas we didn't. We had to like just sort
No.
of like figure out and work our way into it, whereas they're getting they're getting brought up with it, so they're learning more about it, they're learning to be more sensitive to things like that. And I think that's awesome.
I do too. I wholeheartedly agree. Because again, we're all about love here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody is loved, everybody is included, except Timothy Chalamet. I'm kidding. Anyway.
Okay, so next
Okay.
next one on your list. I'm dying to hear your list. Like,
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, we need to talk about. I mean, she hasn't done like a whole lot of them, but another one of my like romantic comedy queens is Miss Reese Witherspoon.
yes.
She has done
Yes.
Sweet Home Alabama. That's on my list. Love that movie. But also one of my absolute favorites, and this is bringing back another person that we've already talked about, Mark Ruffalo. Reese Witherspoon and Mark Ruffalo in the movie Just Like Heaven. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have. I forgot about that movie till just a second. I
It's
love that
so good.
movie. Oh, that movie is
It's
like
so
makes me cry even thinking about that movie.
no, for real. And that's another
Seriously.
one. That's another one that's like borderline like comedy territory. Like it's more so drama, but like it needed to be on my list. I love that
Yes.
movie so much. It's so sweet and endearing, and it really makes you think about like just like who's important in your life. And oh,
Yes. Yes.
love it.
No, and I actually, that was one thing this last week. It's going to sound really funny, but I have been so intentional about now is focusing on like the people I'm grateful for in my life. It sounds
Mhm.
really silly, but like all too often, like you're just used to having somebody in your life and you don't really take that step back to like remember why you are so grateful that they're there. You know, like you've been in my life for, okay, I was 12 when we would have met because it was banned.
Okay. Yep. 16 years.
16 years, you know, and you've been such a constant in my life and like um it just there's so many different people in your life that it's so easy to take for granted in your day to day, and that is one of those movies that like it does after you watch it you just sit there and you're like holy man, like you really think about the people that are important and the things that are important to you. I love that. I love it, love it, love it.
Yep. And like I literally just lost my train of thought mid sentence. It flew away from me.
No.
It left the fucking station and it's in Timbuktu right now. I don't know what I was gonna say. I do remember. I do remember what I was gonna say. Which is sad that it left the station because it was actually gonna be like a jumping off point of yours and it was gonna be kind of like serious, but then I had to go make it all weird. Anyway, no, what I was gonna say is like you don't know when the last moment you will have with the people in your life is, whether it be on your end or on their end. So many things could happen, so many different scenarios could play out. Like, so you don't know when the last time you're going to get to hug someone or talk to someone or tell them you love them is. And it's just so important to like step back sometimes and really like just take stock of, these are all the people I have around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for them. Let me just reach out to them, check in, touch base, tell them I love them, tell them I'm grateful for them, because you don't know when the last time that's going to be is.
Absolutely. No, and it's so important too because it is so easy to get caught up in like how busy work is and oh my life is crazy and oh it's so hard to get together and like use that as an excuse then to not reach out. Like it takes 2 seconds to send a text message that says, "Hey, I love you and I miss you," or "Hey, was thinking about you." Like those are little things that you don't realize that the impact that they have on somebody else, but also it's so important because like you said, what if that's the last thing you get to say to somebody? And we totally have to use this whole topic also for another future episode because I have two crazy stories about like two different times I was kissing with death and like looking back would have regretted my last words to two different people. Where again, it's just you forget how precious life is, but we're saving that for a future episode. So that's way too long of a tangent.
Right, right. Yeah, no, and I have a couple stories of my own on that subject. So yeah, like that'll be a future episode, everybody. I hope you're eagerly awaiting that. Um, yes, back to the original subject. It is your turn now.
Oh, okay. She's the man.
Oh, Channing Tatum! Oh, the tampon.
Yes, and it makes me so sad too with like Amanda Bynes. Like people have been so nasty about like how she's turned out and what she's been through, and I like to think I have a gift of what's called being an ear without judgment. And Mariah knows this too, but like I one of my favorite qualities about myself as a person is when I look at someone like that, my first thought is that, oh my God, look at the train wreck. It's automatically what has she gone through to like end up to where she is now, and it makes me question what happened to her, not what did she do, what did whatever. And like when I was growing up, I loved She's the Man because Amanda Bynes was one of those where, yes, she's super hot and pretty, but she also felt like a little more realistic of a beauty standard, if that makes sense. Because, like, her face, she's got the more kind of rounded out face, even though she was super thin and she was bigger chested. Like, I was always the bigger chested girl. I mean, you remember that. Even when I was really thin, I've never had a small upper chest region, and I felt like super insecure about it. I wasn't one of those girls that was like, I was always the one trying to hide and close. And I think for seeing her, it was one of those like kind of natural beauty people that like made me feel a little more seen as well. Like, oh, okay, she's not a size A cup. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right. Yep. Well, and another thing too with her is yeah, like you said, like, yeah, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, but she's not afraid to look or act ugly. Like, she's not afraid to like throw her voice or like sound really weird or like do facial expressions
Yeah.
that are like stupid or like she she's done so many things like in her movies and like even like way back on the Amanda show where like she dressed
Yes.
up as these characters. Like she did Penelope Taint,
Yeah.
she did like that girl. Like
Yes.
she is not afraid to do anything in the name of comedy, which I love.
Yes.
Queen for that.
Yes. Absolutely. But yeah, so that's why She's the Man would have ended up making my list.
Oh my gosh, I wholeheartedly agree. I loved that movie, and I mean Channing Tatum. Come on,
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yum. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have I have three more that just made like the preliminary list. I don't
Okay. I only have one
so
more.
many. Okay, I think I might just like speed run two of mine right now, and then end with
Okay.
like my final like last one that I love. So the first one of the two is The Holiday with
I have not
um
seen that.
dagger to the chest.
Is it
That's
good?
okay. Oh my gosh, it's so good, Sarah. It's got Jude Law, it's got Kate Winslet, Jack Black, Cameron Diaz. It's so good. It's
I
basically
need to
like
watch that.
yeah, it's like it's Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet. Like they basically swap lives. So Cameron Diaz lives in this like swanky like mansion in I think like California, and Kate Winslet lives in the UK in this like snowy little like cute village with a cute cottage, and they swap lives and they end up falling for men in the respective lives of the other two, and it's so good. Like Kate Winslet and Jack Black are a couple, and Jude Law and Cameron Diaz are a couple. It's so cute. It's so good. Oh, I love it. So yeah, add that add that one to your list. Um, okay, second one is Never Been Kissed.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's Drew Barrymore. It's an old movie, I will say. Like this was when Drew Barrymore was like I don't know, maybe in like her very early 20s, but it's I don't even I don't even know the words to say. It's such a teen movie, but like before teen movies became like a really big thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just and that's another thing in this movie. Drew Barrymore is gorgeous, and she's always been gorgeous. But in this movie, she's more so of like kind of like a plain Jane kind of character, and like very like Spark Notes storyline. She is a magazine editor or like a newspaper editor, and she goes back to high school undercover to do a story, and she has to like embroil herself into the popular group, and oh, she ends up falling for the one of the teachers, and it's so good. We just need to have a movie night. We need to watch that movie because
Yes.
I that's absolutely one of my favorites. It's so good. Like David or what's his name? Oh no, David Arquette. David Arquette is in it. He plays Drew Barrymore's brother. Like so good.
Yes.
It really paved the way for like teen like high school movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
like it.
and
I gotta,
and
I'm adding those to my watch list.
I really hope that those of you listening or watching have seen that movie and like can relate with me on this. Never Been Kissed is honestly one of my guilty pleasures. I will put that on whenever I'm sad, and immediately it gets me in a better mood. Ugh,
We should
anyway.
definitely, that was like an idea that I had thought of too, by the way. It just popped in my head again. It's like seeing with where this goes. If it does end up growing enough that enough people like enjoy hanging out with us, like doing a virtual hangout. And I thought
Oh
like
my
we
gosh.
could, you and I throw a movie on and we go watch a movie like either at my house or yours, and like they can watch it with us and hang out with us while we do a virtual hangout. I had thought of that earlier this week,
I am so down for that idea. So,
right?
yeah, if we gain a lot of traction with this podcast, or if we get enough of a following to where you guys would want to do that or have us do that,
Let us
that
know.
let us know, please. That is such a phenomenal idea, and I'm already super excited about it. So, yeah. Okay, let's hear your next
Okay,
one.
yeah,
Your
so
last
I
one.
lied. I have two left. I
Ooh.
miscounted, but so the first one is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, yes. Yup.
Yeah, and then
Iconic.
Failure to Launch.
Oh, that's with, is that also Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Uh, who's the female lead in that one?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay, oh, maybe I haven't seen that one.
You would really like it. So essentially, it's like it's all about how Matthew McConaughey is like in his, I think he's in his 30s in the movie. He's still living at home, and his parents hire Sarah Jessica Parker as like a for hire girlfriend, and so she is being paid by them and starts dating him, and she like promises with her business model that she can get guys that are struggling to leave their parents' house, and like she's got all these past clients of success and blah blah blah. It is super super good, and like there's the iconic. There's so many iconic scenes from that. I don't want to give it away because you haven't seen it. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, that one and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days are my two last favorite rom-coms. I had thought
Oh
too
yeah.
we should also like someday make a list of our favorite Disney Channel rom-coms because I almost went off on like, the whole Princess Protection Program, Radio Rebel, Rags. Oh, that was Nickelodeon. But like I almost went off on a huge tangent about those, but I'm like, I want to sound like a grown up.
No, you don't even want to know how many Disney Channel movies I originally had on my list before I'm like, Mariah, no. No.
See, and it's so dumb that you and I didn't include those because that's something we bond over.
Right, right. Oh my gosh, no, like we're gonna talk about this in a future episode, but I just have to say it right here and now. One of the movies on that list is 16 Candles, or 16 Candles, 16 Wishes, or what's it called? It's with Debbie Ryan.
Is that 16 Wishes? And why did I already know what you were talking about when you said the wrong title?
It's like I don't know what I think it's like 16 wishes, but it's because she's turning 16, and blah, 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 she gets 16 wishes, whatever.
And her like
It's so
legendary little.
Yes.
Listen, she does. I can't Debbie Ryan, but you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Radio Rebel. I know exactly what you're talking about. Just the
Yes, the little,
yep, like the little hair tuck with the like look
but like
up.
her
Oh
head
yeah.
down and looking up. Yeah, yep,
The iconic Debbie Ryan meme. The most iconic Debbie Ryan meme.
yes. Oh,
So
okay. So wait. You have one more. I was gonna start reading off my nose, but you have one more.
okay, yes. And I don't know if this is like a big movie, but I feel like maybe it is. I don't know. I discovered it one day like years and years ago, and it has since become honestly, this is probably like my number two. If Where the Heart is my number one, this is my number two. This is honestly my number one romantic comedy. It is Leap Year.
I have never seen that.
That was a very good comedic timing for that cough.
Yeah, I've never
I
seen that.
Oh my gosh. So it's Amy Adams and I can't remember the male lead's name, but he has the most gorgeous accent in that movie and I can't remember if he is British in real life or if he is like American in real life, but he plays an Irish man and he has the most gorgeous Irish accent in this movie. And essentially what Leap Year is it there is a like a tale or like a superstition in like Irish like history or Irish lore where on a leap year on February 29th, a woman can propose to a man, marriage, instead of a man proposing to a woman. And so that's essentially the basis for this movie. And it's just like it's a wild ride of like twists and turns and just like mishaps and the cutest fucking love story. Ugh, I cannot recommend it enough. It's so good.
See, with that description alone, the movie Friends with Benefits just popped in my head too, and that wasn't even on my list. But like the way you just described that, I'm like, Friends with Benefits.
Okay, but can we talk about how Friends with Benefits and oh gosh, what's that other movie? But they came out in literally the same year with the exact same premise. It was with like Ashton Kutcher, I think.
No strings
Oh,
attached.
No Strings Attached. Yeah, No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits came out in the same
Yes.
exact year and they had the exact same premise and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman, right?
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're
yeah,
both
and
super good.
yeah, and I think Friends with Benefits had like a much better like box office reception, which I kind of agree with because I love
I
Mila
could
Kunis.
see.
I love her so much. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's hilarious though. I didn't even realize until literally just now, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis
Yeah.
in battling movies, and now they're
Yeah.
married and have kids. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Love that. I love
Okay,
that for
so
them.
I love the fact that you and I too, we were gonna make a like yes, our favorites and our least favorites list, and we were literally messaging about it like yesterday, and we were like, oh God, I am struggling to come up with ones I don't like because like we both just I love and I love being able to love and laugh and whatever. But can I read you one of my no's? Hear me out, okay? The
Okay.
Switch.
Is that with Jason Bateman?
It is.
Okay.
It
Is that
is.
like
And
is that like the sperm one, the sperm bank one?
it's where
No, maybe.
him and Ryan or not Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds, they switch places. Is it Ryan Reynolds?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So same actor but different movie I was thinking of. I haven't fully like all the way through seen The Switch, but like I can see what where you say that.
Yeah, to me it's just like it was okay, but it wasn't a movie that I got to the end of and I was like, ah, like I watched it and was kind of like meh. You know what I mean?
You're just like
Yeah.
well, that was a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like that was I got done and I'm like, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, but that one for me, I thought of that and I'm like, I did not love that one now that I think of it. And there was one other one, and it's gonna drive me crazy now too because I can't think of what it's called. But it's got Paul Rudd where he's the husband and the wife and him are in their 40s. And it's supposed to be
Sarah.
what is it called?
Sarah, it's called This Is 40.
This is 40. There it is. That one.
Yep.
I like
It's like
it.
this husband and
I
wife. Yeah, they're in their 40s. God, fuck, what's it called, man?
and I liked it, but also it was so sad. Like they hated each other so much while they were going through their marital problems that like
Oh,
I got so sad watching it that like even the beautiful ending, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. Like just like Marley and Me, couldn't watch that one again. Like I that
absolutely
movie,
not.
Mariah, it makes me too sad.
Oh no, for real. Like I have sworn off of watching Marley and Me. Like
Yeah.
I can't. I absolutely can't. I will hyperventilate from crying because of that movie. I can't.
I know. The funniest memory that I have too of watching that movie. Do you remember our middle school science teacher, Mr. Butala?
Absolutely.
So we did a movie day for like the last day of the school or whatever it was, and I will never forget. Dominic Amos was sitting in front of me, who was like a couple years ahead of us, and he, was like this cute guy that was a few years ahead of us or whatever. But he was sitting in front of me, and I didn't really know him that well, and we were on the old black science tables, and the lights were out, and I didn't realize I was crying and dripping snot so bad there was a black puddle when they turned the lights on. And I will never forget. Dom turned around and he looked at me and he looked at me and he looked down and he looked at me and he goes, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "No." It's just horrible. It is horrible. It is horrible.
Oh my God.
I doubt he remembers that, but it was like the most embarrassing thing for sixth grade me, I swear.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's another episode that we need to do is just like stories from when we were in high school or just like school in general. Because there are so many
Yes.
of them. Oh my God.
If we had a
Oh.
dollar for every time I embarrassed myself while you and I were in school, my home would be paid off. Like, I
Like
wouldn't have a mortgage.
I was going through my Instagram feed the other day and I think I was just looking for like some really old post of when I like posted my baby picture or something, and I came across so many pictures of you in just like the most weird ass situations. Like one, you were just like asleep on my bed, and there was another one where you remember this, I know, where you like dropped like a whole thing of like clay water on your pants in
It was
art.
paper mache. It was horrible. And I remember there was that boy in your class, Jackson, that like I had a crush on. He had a crush on me, and like he was in that class, and I think he had either just asked me on a date or was gonna. And he was sitting not far from me, and I was making that paper mache Joker. I made like a shoulder up creepy paper mache of the Joker so bad that the art teacher had to cover it with a sheet when his kid classes would come in. But Mariah and I were making it and like working on our stuff, and it was right on the edge of a table, and somebody moved the other table, and this entire pail pours onto my lap. It was horrible, and you had to clean me up
Oh,
in the bathroom.
it was so funny. Yeah, I took the picture and I remember like word for word, I remember the caption I put. That this is just like I probably would still put this caption, which is really just ridiculous. It's somebody went accident in her big girl pants. I can't. Oh,
You know
it
what?
was a
I feel
different.
like there was so much of our friendship too where you were cleaning up after me or like cleaning me up from something. Like, why is that a thing?
Oh, you know what? But what's a friend to clean up your mess for you if you don't have a friend to make the mess, you know? And
You
vice
know,
versa.
that's right. That's right.
It was a mutually beneficial relationship, our friendship.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we for sure have to do an episode on this because I'm crying just from these couple little stories that we've told.
Yes.
Oh, oh. Anyway, I don't even know like where we're at for time. We're like over an hour. It's fine. This is what happens when me and Sarah just like get to talking and just get to like shooting the shit. Time just goes by. It'll feel like 5 minutes and it'll have been literally 3.5 hours. So
And hopefully you felt
yeah,
like that listening and hanging out with us, because we want you to feel included too, that you're also hanging out with us too.
absolutely. Basically, what this is honest. I kind of consider this just like a big like sleepover. So like, I want this to feel like we're all, at our friend's house. We got some like kick-ass snacks. Like we got some Doritos and we got like some Cheetos puffs and we got like Kool-Aid and shit. And we're just like hanging out and watching movies and just talking shit and like, just having fun. That's what I want. Girl, what to feel like.
Because there's been so many times too, like when you pitched that title, I laughed so hard because I started thinking back to the amount of times that like we've been talking about something and I legitimately would look at you and be like, what? Or girl, what? Like, and
Girl,
it's
what?
just yeah, and that's like literally it makes me think of like sitting around and laughing with you. And yeah, so thank you to everybody too that's here and hanging out with us. We hope you have laughed just as much as we do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like the title Girl What perfectly encapsulates our friendship because we don't take ourselves seriously, we don't take each other seriously. And I hope that you guys have somebody like that in your life. And if for some reason you don't, you can consider us that person. We will constantly check you and be like, "Girl, what?" And
Yes.
we hope that you are on the other end doing the same for us. Like if we say some stupid shit, you got to be like, "Girl, what?"
Yes.
That's what this is about. We are a safe space. We are a fucking weird space, but we are a space that everybody can come in and enjoy themselves, and I hope you do.
And if you've been thinking to yourself, there's been something missing, that you're just going through your day to day and you're listening to your normal podcast and you're like, man, something's missing. I tell you what it was. It was two weirdos, and you just gained two now. You have your very own two
Absolutely.
weirdos. And we are so happy to be here
Absolutely.
with you.
And there was no adoption fee. We were free.
Yay!
You just adopted two new weirdos into your life. You don't even have to feed us or let us outside. We do that for ourselves.
Yeah, we're independent Tamagotchis, okay?
We're that new Tamagotchi. We take care of ourselves. So that's I guess all the time, not really all the time that we have. We could literally keep going forever, but that's what we have for you today for our rom-com episode, our romantic movie episode. I just do want to say we kind of skipped over this. We went over the script even beforehand, and we went on so many tangents that we skipped over a bunch of stuff. Um, this podcast is going to be about any and everything. There's no topic that's really off limits to us. We are open to talk about anything. We want to talk about anything. Like if there are suggestions that you guys have, you can DM us on Instagram, Twitter. Like we'll link all of our socials and everything. You can, if you know us personally, you can talk to us personally. Say, hey, why don't you do this on the podcast? I think that'd be super fun. We are more than receptive to all of your guys' suggestions. In fact, we welcome them. We do have more ideas for future episodes, but we could always use more, so we can just keep churning out that content for you guys.
And I think too, bear in mind too that yes, we are two happy and lighthearted individuals, but we also have been through the tough stuff too. And if there's tough stuff that you want us to talk about, that so that you feel seen and heard, or even just get to hear from two people that have been through like something similar and maybe can empathize with you, please, please, please don't feel like you can't. That the floor isn't open for tough stuff, because we're here for the tough stuff too. The happy, the good, the ugly, and all of it. This is it's a safe place. It's a safe space, and we are two ears
Absolutely.
without judgment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we will celebrate you, we will cry with you, we will laugh with you. We want to be the people that you can consider the safe place to come to. Sarah, you said it beautifully. We are a safe place, we are a safe space, and we are what did you say? It's like ears without judgment. I love that.
Yep, we are two ears without judgment.
Two ears without judgment. Absolutely. I think that is the overarching thing that you should take from this. We are two ears without judgment. We are a safe space. We love and accept all of you, and we just
Everyone.
hope that everyone, we just hope that you have so much fun with us and continue to listen or watch and support us. And yeah, see what we do in the future.
I'm excited. I'm here for it.
I'm I'm excited too. All right, everybody, this is us signing off for our first episode. Again, I'm Mariah. Thank you so much for joining.
I'm Sarah. Have a great night. Spread love and kindness to everybody that you know, and do me a favor and smile more because you have a nice one.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, have a good night. Have a happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you in the next episode.